So the immigrant crisis is getting out of control here, guys. I don't know if you've seen this.
I'll say.
But the immigrant crisis is out of hand.
What are you talking about?
There's a lot of immigrants, man, coming into this country. Like, it's wide open borders, and everybody knows it. So everybody's just like storming in. They're coming in, and we can't handle them. All the sanctuary cities that like stood up and they're like, we'll be a sanctuary city. We love migrants.
We want people to come here.
So then all the southern border states were like, okay, then you can have them. And they bust these people up to the cities, and the cities are like, what the are these migrants doing here? We can't handle these guys. So they're taking over like police stations and shit. Police officers are now starting to quit. So
who's taking them over? The immigrants?
Yeah. So like they have no place to put them.
Are we talking about here? People from where?
All over. Actually, a ton of from like sub-Saharan Africa. Like they're flying into Mexico, then coming across our southern border because it's easier than getting a visa to come into America, apparently. Because our immigration system's fucked. But I have an idea. See, we're spending a ton of money
in the Ukraine.
In Ukraine.
Yeah, bro.
And we're sending all of the American money, American workers accumulate to help Ukraine. But this is what's wild. It turns out there was just a thing on 60 Minutes that it's not just going to bombs and to fight the war. We're actually paying for the entire Ukrainian government and all the seeds, the farmers, the workers. We're basically running Ukraine's economy. So I had a brilliant idea, as I often do.
Talk to me, fucker.
So instead of taking these migrants from the southern border and busing them to American cities, which can't handle the overflow, we take the migrants from the southern border and we
send them to Ukraine.
Fly them to Ukraine.
Okay.
Where then they can run Ukrainian parliament, where they can work the farms and all these other things that we're paying for. And to me, this is a win-win situation.
You know, that's a really interesting idea, G.
Is it not?
I think it is. I'm not being sarcastic. I think if I would almost say you're welcome to come here, but you got to do us a service.
So, my Irish...
Maybe do us a service. Like, if you want to, like, I don't know, like, if you want to be an American, go serve in the military for a couple years. Prove yourself, come back, citizenship, anything you want.
So...
You know what I mean?
This has been done before. When my ancestors came across, actually it didn't happen to my ancestors, they came later, but when their parents and their uncles came to America, before even Ellis Island was a thing, they would get off of the boats in Manhattan Harbor, and they either had to pay $200, which at that time was like the equivalent of like, I don't know, 50 grand today.
Yeah.
Or they had to enlist in the Northern Army and go fight in the Civil War.
Yeah.
So you had people that had literally just got off the boat, escaping British oppression. They handed them a gun, said,
"Was that in
go fight for Lincoln."
In that movie?
It's covered briefly in Martin Scorsese's The Gangs of New York.
Gangs of New York. Yeah, I remember that shit.
But there's some great Irish literature, James Joyce, Oscar Wilde. There's some really great music about it, and listen, it happened in the Roman Empire too.
There's some great Irish music.
They say, Paddy, go and fight for Lincoln. Yeah.
Hey, I got something. Actually, I read this. Steven Crowder. Are you a fan of him? What do you think of him? I don't know.
I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of. I'm a big fan of Brian Callen and Dave Landau.
And they fuck with him. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, he said so check this out. With the $165 billion we gave to Ukraine, we could have built 6 border walls to stop illegal immigrants from pouring across our southern border. Could have fixed Flint's water system 215 times over.
Easily.
Could have given, I like this one, could have given every homeless vet $2 million.
Holy shit.
Could have given $50 million to every family impacted by the Maui wildfires.
And they got $700. They got $700 each.
We got to get our priorities straight, buddy.
Wow, I didn't know that.
We got to get our priorities straight.
I also saw...
And remember that shit in Ohio with the chemicals spilling into the lake and shit?
How about that? People don't even remember that happened. East Palestine.
I mean? Yeah, there's a bunch of shit, man. We got to
more concerned with that.
Worry about at home a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. And then, they're threatening to shut down the government because now a couple of like Rand Paul and Thomas Massey are like, we're not funding a blank check policy to Ukraine anymore. So we're not doing it. And then they try tweeting about the Republicans are trying to stop science and they want poor people to not have access to food stamps. And it's like, bro, just take Ukraine funding out of the budget, and it's passed.
Yeah.
But you can't, because there's something. Somebody's making a shitload of money, and it's not just Democrats. As much as I can't stand them, ton of Republicans involved in this. Lindsey Graham, Mitt Romney, Bill Kristol, Dick Cheney.
Billy Crystal?
Bill Kristol, one of the worst human beings in the history of the planet, and nobody even knows who he is.
But analyze this and that was so funny.
With a K, Kristol with a K.
Different guy?
Different guy.
Different
But you know what else
gentleman?
I heard, or I read, that
Yankees fan.
according
Different guy. Sorry.
according to HUD, they think it would take $20 billion to end homelessness in America. $20 billion. And what'd you say? We've sent 100 and how much? We could have ended.
165 billion.
So we could have ended homelessness 8 times over in America.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. It's
yeah.
outrageous.
Our priorities are
It's
terrible.
outrageous. And they want to shut down the government, and they try scaring people into thinking that's a bad thing. Yo, they'll never shut down the government. They'll never do it. Do you know why they won't shut down the government? Because people would then realize how little government we actually
how
need.
unimportant it is. Yeah.
They'll never shut it down. They'll never shut it down, because then they'll realize 90% of things that are getting spent,
bullshit.
garbage. Absolute garbage.
How you doing?
How you doing?
Bullshit.
Spending $15 million to find out whether badgers fuck better on cocaine. An actual thing, by the way. So
Well, do that? I'm intrigued.
we gotta look up the stats.